Hey, this is Carla Michelle, and I am so glad to be talking to you on the Strong Women Network podcast. I tell you, we are getting ready for Mother's Day, and this is a part of my Mother's Day series. I am going to be talking to my children. If you do not know, I have four lovely children, and all their names begin with a J. Joelle, Justice, Jordan, and Joshua, and they all said yes to being spending some time with me on the podcast. So I'm excited. We're going to ask a couple of questions and see actually just kind of transparency and a little transparent and seeing how they view, me as a mom and all the lovely perfect things that I've done in their lives. But I'm sure their honesty the goal is to have their honesty help you. So if you have a child you want to share this with, a relative, or just want to listen yourself, but you should share. It's only the right thing to do. But I want to just let's see how I did in my parenting skills. And right now we are in the middle of quarantine, so basically my kids are home, and I'm able to catch my starter child, as we now call her, and I nickname her Dora the Explorer because she loves to go out. And I have to tell you the story before I bring her in. When she was little, I don't know how old she was, but Dora the Explorer was out. It's a cartoon, if you don't know. And one of the things that Dora always did was go places. And she had her little animal friends. So Joelle, my oldest, comes in and she's like, Mom, I wish I was Dora the Explorer. And I was like, why? She says, because she gets to go everywhere. Mind you, Dora the Explorer does not have parents. She has friends like a fox and whatever that other creature was. So I did tell her that. I said, Dora the Explorer does not have parents. But with that in mind, let's just welcome Joelle. They have two middle names, all of them, Joelle, Reagan, Simone. And let's welcome her in right now.
Hey, hi mama.
Hey, hey, Joey. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for taking the time to do this. I know, well, thank God for quarantine because, I know it could be different in another situation. So I'm glad that you are available to join in and talk with me. So are you ready?
I am. Bring it on. Oh, and the other creature in Dora the
Oh,
Explorer was her backpack.
oh, did her backpack talk?
It did talk.
Okay. Well, more reasons than now for you not to have been Dora the Explorer. But you have caught up now. You have moved and done a lot of things.
Yes.
And how old are you?
25, going on
Oh
26.
my gosh, how are you? I gotta say it. How are you catching? How did you pass me? I'll just say that. Or how are we the same age?
I don't know.
But
God works in mysterious ways.
hallelujah. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Well, once again, I'm really glad that you are taking the time to talk to me and talk to my listeners and share a little wisdom about what you've learned as me as your mom and mom, parent, whatever example you saw growing up, whatever anything that, whether helpful or non-helpful that I've done, but what you've learned from it. That's the biggest thing I would like to, the end result is what did you get out of um, just being raised by me and having your siblings and your dad were
Mhm.
divorced, been divorced for a while. Anything you want to share, but I do have some questions, but you just tell me how you want to handle it from there. But it's going to be your show, okay,
I
Joelle?
like it.
Okay, all right. Let's start with the first
Okay.
question. How has it been having me for your mom?
It's been really great. Um, you are a great mother, I shall say. have to say. I must say, I should say. Um,
Like I'm paying you.
and then I mean, we've definitely um bumped heads, I would say, a lot just because am I handle things differently than you have and you did when you were my age, or even like whenever whatever age that was where we ever bumped heads and stuff like that, um over things. So it was just it was fun because I was able to kind of like branch out. You're always, I know, like for sure, like you're always there for me, so that's a really good thing to have, especially from your parents and stuff like that. um I also It was also, I don't know, it was very supportive. Both you and dad were very supportive always, regardless of if you guys had different thoughts or beliefs. You guys still made sure that we knew, or I should say I knew, because I'm just going to speak for me, that you guys would always be there for me regardless. Um, and yeah, so it's been pretty amazing so far in my 25
Yeah,
years.
so far. Well, actually, I think we're done raising you. um, I know that. How do you? How did? How did it feel watching your dad and I divorce?
Well, I was actually truly happy, to be honest. Just because like I saw how unhealthy it was, or yeah, like I could tell how unhealthy it was and how unhappy you were. And um so, or unhappy, you guys both didn't seem like you guys, were as happy. So I was happy when you guys got a divorce because I just knew that, well, one, growing up, like we're gonna have two of everything, two houses, two two cabinets, two refrigerators, like two everything. So I was really excited about that. Two beds, two TVs, all that stuff. So that was exciting. And then also kind of just learning how you guys parent separately, like learning, because obviously we grew up with you being the primary person that took care of us, as in like us, we will always be around you and stuff like that. So to see the different parenting skills was actually pretty cool too. um and yeah, so I would just say, like, to answer your question, sum it all up, I would just say, like, I was happy to. I know it's pretty weird for most kids, because I feel like a lot of kids like, oh, I don't want my parents to get a divorce, which of course, like, I didn't want you guys to, but at the same time, like, taking you guys into consideration and not being selfish, like, just seeing, you know, how it was just the best option. So I'm happy.
All right, you still
Yes.
happy?
And you guys co-parent
I
really
got him.
well too. So that's a really good thing.
Oh,
Oh, it's been a journey,
yeah.
but definitely it's really nice to have both parents there all the time.
Yeah, and it was important, I believe, for me and your father to make sure that we gave you what you
Yeah.
need, even though we weren't going to stay together. Our goal was to
Yeah.
co-parent at the best way we knew how, and like it
Yeah.
was a journey because it wasn't always smooth
Mhm.
sailing. But now, we still celebrate your
Birth
birthday.
hot.
We'll all go to
Mhm.
dinner and make sure that each and
Yeah,
every kid has the
with
birthday
the whole family.
celebration, and so that's with the whole family. And yeah, we do co-parenting as best we can to make sure you guys grew up as healthy as
Mhm.
possible. I don't know, we could only pray and hope, but you're
Yeah.
25, so I think we're doing
I made it
okay.
this far.
You're on your own from here, baby. No, no, no. So as my listeners know, I'm a coach, and so is there ever a time when you rather have a mom over a coach, or a coach over me being a
I
mom?
like a moach, if that makes sense.
A
I just made
moach.
that up, but
You just made a word. Hashtag
a
moach.
moach, a mom and a coach. Like I like you, of course, like when you tell me from a mom's point of view, but I also like it when you tell me from a coach's point of view because I'm either way I'm learning. So, um,
Mhm.
I mean, I prefer you to be a moach, a coach, a mom and a coach. So
Okay.
I'm cool with both. I appreciate both.
I'm I'm now a moach. Okay. I
Hashtag.
like it. All right. Hashtag moach. Carla Michelle, the moach. Um, yeah, I know that's kind of a thin line between coaching and being
Hmm.
the mom. I know, I will admit, I have not always been the most
Hmm.
understanding as a mom. I believe that my actions were based on not having you make
Yeah.
the same mistakes that I made. I remember when we baptized you or christened you, um, a couple of months after you were born, and just bawling my eyes out when they were praying over you, because that was like, I just didn't want you to go through what I went through, because it was so, I mean, it just was so much as a female in the world, that I went through. And I just didn't want you to have to go through that. So I think because you were the
Hmm.
starter kid too,
Yeah. Not the guinea pig, but the starter
you
kid.
not thinking it, you were the starter kid. And yeah, you got all kind of
Yeah.
special
Yeah.
attention from that, because I really just didn't want,
Yeah.
especially with men. I think that was my
Yeah.
biggest thing. I was really
Yeah.
hard on you, and what kind of guys
Hmm.
you dated,
Yeah.
and all that. Do you want to
Oh,
touch
yeah, we
on
can
that at
touch on
all?
it if you want. If you want, we can touch on it.
It's up to you. If you don't, we can move on, because it's gonna make me look
Yeah,
very,
no.
well, I'm human. So I like I said, it's
Yeah,
very, I'm cool. Let's go. Let's
you're
help the
human
people.
and you've learned from everything. So that's all that matters.
Yes.
Um, of
Oh,
course,
thank
mama.
you.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, you would definitely be hard. Not just, well, you would be hard on me in general, and I definitely understood the whole time that it was coming from a good place, like a caring place. It wasn't like a shaming kind of thing. Like it was just like, I just don't want you to go through the same or worse than what I've been through. Ooh, so I'm just trying to help you and prevent that. But then I think we got to the point where, or I guess you got to the point where you kind of realize like you can only control so much of what I do. Because as you said, I am Dora the
Obviously,
Explorer.
Dora.
So, and Dora the Explorer goes and explores. So, um, and I also kind of wanted to, like, I definitely, um, as we've talked already, like, before, like, I'm sure I definitely took everything, that both you and dad, because dad was also hard on me as well. I took everything you guys said, but I just still was like, I still want to just branch out and kind of just like adventure out and just kind of see, maybe things could have been different for me than it was for you guys, or but definitely keeping it in the back of my head, like everything you guys said in the back of my head, um while I'm adventuring out, just because I'm aware of what could happen, so I try not to be in the same situations or in a bad situation, if that makes any sense. But don't stop that from doing,
Mhm.
from me, I don't let that stop me from doing what I want to do. I just do it cautiously, if that makes sense.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I'll never forget when when you told me, and I was trying to tell you, Joelle, why don't you just listen? I would save you so much time. Do you remember you
Uh-huh.
telling you stuff like that? And you're like, Mom, I just learned better from
Mhm.
making mistakes. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's like this child of mine, which, when we talk to your sister is a whole nother kind of story. But you really, when I look back, your independence was something that just
Mhm.
had to be. And it was wrong of me. I
Mhm.
don't want to say wrong. I think I needed to really be aware of just how amazing you are in knowing what you want, and you were willing to pay the price regardless because you wanted
Mhm.
to find out. And when you look back, it's not like
Yeah.
anything really
Yeah.
detrimental happened. It was just, we just wanted
Yeah.
you in a little box and to be the little baby doll and sit on the bed
And
and be
wait.
still, which is not. It just
And wait. Okay, mom, what do you want me to do
wait.
now? Is it okay if I do this?
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, like when you wanted to start driving, there really wasn't a reason for you to start driving.
Honestly. And if I wanted, you guys could have drove me
Yeah, I
around
mean,
wherever I wanted.
exactly. And that was
Yeah.
before Lyft and Uber. I just don't understand why you needed to have a,
Yeah.
get a car and drive and
Make my own money too.
but yeah, make well, want you to
When
make
I
your own
started
money.
though,
That'd
you
be
didn't
great,
want
but
me to.
find a
When I,
way to get there. I didn't.
maybe it was
I don't
dad. Maybe it was
recall.
dad.
I know.
I don't know.
I'm
Maybe I'm
trying to
just
think.
tripping.
I think I celebrated you.
Maybe I'm just
I think
hallucinating
you
at
are
this
maybe a
point.
little bit. Now we don't want you to drive, but we do want you to make some money. So I can't
Yeah.
see us saying no to that. Um, so what do you think your biggest uh if you think about all your 25 years, which is a
Mm-hmm.
quarter of a century, right? Yeah, you'll be
Yep.
26 this year. And um, where do you, what would you like to have had different from me? Experience different if you could go back.
Um, well, I would say I would if you were less judgmental, like growing up. But then I
Mm-hmm.
don't really I don't know, at the same time, like I kind of wouldn't change anything because you being you and me growing up with you, I feel like I've always kind of been like a positive person, so I feel like I've took everything, even though it probably came off wrong or whatever to other people or even to me sometimes, like I still found tried to find the
Mm-hmm.
positive in everything that you were saying, and just kind of being like, like it's not like she hates me, like she doesn't hate that I'm her daughter, or she doesn't, it's not like she's disowning me, it's just like she's just coming from a place, of caring and stuff like that. So I um and fear.
And fear, which
Yeah,
is
but I
not a
mean,
good
you're
way.
human
Yeah.
and you're a mother and you care. I mean, and not just because you're a mother, but when you care about somebody in general, that's just kind of happens. I feel like, at least. Um, but I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't say I would change anything, to be honest. So I take that back. I wouldn't change anything just because like I feel like it made me stronger. Um, and it also made you stronger, because I feel like as I
Mm-hmm.
got older and we were able to have conversations and stuff like that, um, we were both able to grow together in different ways. The same way that I feel like we kind of grew together. We were going through a lot together already. So I feel like it was just a way for us
Mm-hmm.
to kind of just grow together, if that makes sense.
No, it makes a lot of sense. You mentioned the
Mm-hmm.
word judgmental.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, but maybe our listeners, do you want to share any way that you, or any ways that I showed judgmental
Um,
action?
yeah, when it would be like, of course, like the guys that I would date, which at the time weren't really, whatever, but they
Wait,
weren't
wait,
really
we're
the
really
right.
what?
Some of them were good, and then some of them were just not okay. But you couldn't tell me
But
that
I
at the
couldn't tell
time.
you that
Yeah,
at
yeah,
the
yeah.
time. Okay,
But I
okay,
mean,
yeah.
besides the mother's intuition, um, it was a lot of, I feel like, I mean, okay, so it came off as like you would want me to date somebody. Well, I mean, let me not. you always wanted me to just date somebody that um had money, or like, and they didn't have to be rich or anything, but just like have some type of like, yeah, like a
For the
job.
job.
And and I'm talking about like when I was younger, before like jobs were even a thing. Like we were in high school, like nobody was
Get
really thinking. Nobody's
Still
really
got a
thinking about
job.
jobs in high school. Like we're just trying to play basketball and have fun. Like, so I
Did I want you to have a
yes,
boyfriend with a
yeah.
job in high school? Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I
you
was
did.
forward
You said
thinking. It's
he needs
okay.
to. Does he have a job? Does he have some type of house? Stuff like that. Yeah. Does he have a?
Does it have a
Yeah,
car? When you had
and
a car,
yeah, and
because you
then
had a
as I got
car.
older, like it would start being like, okay, I understand. Like a man should a man should have more than you, or whatever, and stuff like that. Just or equal, just so
Or
it's
equal.
not a give on my part. And because I can definitely
Yeah.
be a giver in a relationship, so yeah,
You're
very
very
nurturing.
nurturing
So
too.
I
Yeah.
definitely get that. But um how you were judgmental, I would say I, I kind of like erased. I
I
erased
remember
like
that.
everything because I just kind of like replaced it with like positive. I don't know. It's really weird, but I don't really try and hold on to those things. Like I just like take it with a
Yeah.
grain of salt and then go from, or we might have already talked about it. And so since then, yeah,
Oh
since
yeah, we
then, like
talked
I
about
just
it.
let it go. But, um, I mean, the only thing I could really remember is you being kind of hard on me on the guys that I would date, and me kind of just wanting to do anything different than what you saw me do, if that makes any sense. Like, not saying I was doing anything crazy or
Yeah.
anything like that, but um, uh, just like me being hard headed, basic sometimes. Um, just wanting to kind of branch out and do my own thing, and you not really understanding, I would say, why I was doing
Hmm.
it. So that was pretty big, but I feel like that's really all I could get out of my memory of
Hey, that's good. I
it.
like good memories. It works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. So when you think about there's nothing to like change but improve, I hope that I
Yeah.
have improved in time over your 25 years. It has always been my goal to balance being your mom with being a
Hmm.
confidant to you, someone you could talk to, and that we could relate in a way that, unlike which stemmed from my missing link with
Hmm.
my mom, even though she was here, I didn't have that
Yeah.
closeness. You were
Yeah.
very close to my mom, and I wish she was still here so you
Yeah. Me
guys would
too.
still have that closeness, but she's not. And but you were very close to her, but I did not have that. I didn't She was not a person I
Mm.
could go to and talk to, because she was also very
Mm.
judgmental of stuff that I did. Actually, you're
Yeah. And
probably
you're your
just
mom.
me and the
Your
younger.
grandma.
I just switch roles. Exactly. I just
Yeah.
switch roles with my mom, which we do. So I think about, I wanted to ask you about how did you feel about me being in school basically almost all
I
your
was
life?
I was really proud
It
of you,
felt
to
like
be honest, because one, all four of us are super needy. I know just me and Justice are both extremely needy when it comes to you. Especially when you were, oh yeah,
Justice
my
is
little
my
brother,
son
little big
after
brother.
Joelle. Yeah.
Um, but you definitely, like, I loved how you were still um focused and determined regardless, because you weren't just dealing with kids, like you were also dealing with your divorce at the time. And no, that was after, was that, yeah, the divorce at the time, I think, still. And
Hmm.
working as well,
Yeah.
just getting your life
Working.
back together. um and so I admired you. I admire you for doing that and still being able to be a great mother at the same time and taking care of us and also taking care of
Hmm.
you. And that's one thing like I've always like, of course I just said it, but admired about you as well is like you take your you don't limit yourself. Like you don't say, "Oh, I have four," because anybody could have said, "Oh, I have four kids. I'm going through a lot. I don't even have anything together right now. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do that." And you just said, I'm that girl and I am that woman and I am going to do whatever I want to get where I want to go. And you did it and you're continuing to do it. And you're doing it well, doing it well. You're, I'm very,
Aw.
I've always been
Aw.
and still am because you come up with new things all the time on what to do, and this podcast and this Strong Woman Network and your Monday Minutes and things like that. Like it's just you keep evolving, and so I love to see it. I really do. So I'm really, just to sum it up, really proud of you because you definitely were able to juggle everything at one time and still kill the game. Yep,
Kill the game.
yep,
Like
yep.
you did on the court, right? Yep. Yep, yep. Oh, you don't see us, but we're making moves.
Like,
You don't see us. It's
yeah.
like we're dribbling the ball and going through our legs.
Yeah.
We're like breaking ankles.
Like
You
John
don't see
Cena,
us.
you
You don't
can't
see us.
see
No.
me. Yeah.
Can I mention something? We did not talk about this, but you had an opportunity to be
Hmm.
recruited to go play basketball. And how could I have helped you to follow through with that recruitment? Do you
Yeah.
remember the story about
I
how
was
you
actually,
felt about
so I
that?
know
Okay.
it wasn't even you. It wasn't you at all because I was the one that was saying I didn't want to take it because I wasn't gonna get a full ride. It was gonna be like I can't even remember what type of scholarship it was, but it wasn't a full ride, so we still
Hmm.
would have had to pay. So me, I was just like I would just want to go to PCC and see if I can get our local college, yeah,
It's our
and
local
see
college,
if, or I should just say go to a junior college
junior
and
college.
see if I can get better a full ride from a different college to where instead of paying for this.
Hmm.
And it was just, I felt like it was just going to be a lot that at that time I felt like it just wasn't the right time for all of that to go down, if
Hmm.
that made any sense. So I mean I don't really.
I just
Yeah, go
remember
ahead.
something you said. Can I cut you off right there? I remember something that you said was,
Oh,
I was thinking more of your mindset is when you had the opportunity. And actually you said no and then you said yes. Do you remember that? You changed your mind because you felt at the time that those that you were going to go play with were whoever. You
yeah,
had
I
really
remember. I
blown them
remember.
up in your head. Do you remember that? So when you think back now to these listeners who are maybe listening and they're in high school or they're playing some sport and
Hmm.
they're being recruited by colleges, and what would you tell them about that experience you
About getting
had about your
recruited and
mindset during that time? And do you
no, I
remember what
don't.
you said to me? Because I'll say it about how you
Oh,
thought
right,
they
right,
were
right.
better than you and you didn't want to the other, and I was trying to
Yeah,
convince you
because they
like
were
they're on
bigger,
the
so I
same
was
playing field as
intimidated
you. Okay.
because, of course, coming out of high school, like my high school, we didn't really have too big of players. Like we were kind of like smaller, I guess you can say, um, compared to, of course,
Hmm.
college. So it was just a different environment, and it did scare me at first because I didn't feel like I was at the skill level that they were. I felt like I was just, like I wasn't gonna do the best I could do. But that was just me like overthinking and being scared of going. I mean, because that's what comes with going to the next level. Like, of course, not everybody's gonna be 2 feet 115. You know what I mean? Like the older you get, I mean, in
Yeah.
college there's bigger players, taller players. So I just wasn't, looking
Mhm.
back at it now, I wish that I did like take that opportunity, but because I think it would have been a great opportunity for me. Um, but because yeah, I definitely would have grown in a different type of way. I think as well as a different type of player going there too. But my mindset, I was just really scared and nervous at the same time about messing up and not being the best me, or the not being one of the best,
Mm.
if anything.
Yeah, because you were
Mm-hmm.
what, a team captain in
MVP
high
and stuff
school,
like
and
that. Yeah.
yeah, and
So,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
yeah.
But you did go on to play at the junior
Mm-hmm.
college and killed it
Yeah.
there as well. Yeah. So you found out the Giants weren't that big
Yeah.
after all,
You just
right?
take the
You could
ball
just
from
go through
them.
their legs.
Yeah.
And not that you're short. And you used to steal that ball like
Yeah, I
crazy.
would. It would be fun. I definitely I definitely learned
Because you
my
were
stealing
like,
skills from Gina. She was our point guard at my high school, and I would always watch
yes,
how she would steal the ball. It was so
yeah.
yeah, so I learned it from her. I give her that credit. Yeah.
You took it on. You took it on. But I just wanted our listeners, if they're listening and you know in that age
Mhm.
range and they're looking at
Yeah.
sports and not
Right.
to be scared of the next level. What you
It's
said is
definitely
it.
gonna be like
Yeah.
different. Of
So that.
course, if you're going from high school to college, it's definitely gonna be different. Um, different people, different players, different coaches. Sometimes the coaches don't, they're just
Yeah.
different than what you're used to. Um, so you just got to kind of prepare yourself mentally for it, and just go in with a good attitude, and that you're still going to be the best player that you could be regardless. Like, you're still going to give it your all. That's what I would say.
Hmm. Yeah.
You're
Well,
welcome.
is there any, thank you for sharing that. Is there any tips that you want to give women your age,
Not even
25 and a half?
at the half mark yet, Mom. Dang. I know, right? I guess so. We got 2 months
Almost.
to go, or 1 month. Uh, well,
25
yeah,
and a
she's
half,
one
like
and a
you're a
half.
baby.
You know how they say like the weeks, the 27 and a half.
Yeah, that's a
I
lot
know.
of weeks for
Um,
25 years.
I would say, just live your life. I would definitely say don't let anything come in between what you want to do. If you want to do it, make a way. Um, um, be confident, super, super confident. Um, I don't know, that would be, oh, they
Any
come and
guy
go.
advice? Wait. I want to back up. Super confident. Tell me again. Give it to me
Dang,
again so we can be
I don't remember what
confident.
I said.
Do you remember what you said? Okay, they'll just listen to it. They'll rewind it if they
Confident.
need. I was gonna go over it with them
Yeah.
again. But
Yeah.
confidence is very
Confidence.
important, you feel? Yeah.
Taking on, oh, I said, don't let anything stop you from getting what you want. Um, even your
Mhm.
mother, because sometimes your
Even
mother
your
just doesn't
mother.
see, or your parents just, or somebody, whoever it is in your ear, just doesn't see your vision. So you got to just show them your vision, you, when it's exactly, and
When
be
it's
like,
done,
see, mom,
when
or
it's
see, so and
conquered.
so, I told you I can do it. Um, and yeah, as you said,
Yes,
guys,
yes.
guys,
Any guy advice out there? I mean, you want to tell the girls any guy advice? How to? I don't know.
I
I don't know what
learned,
you've learned. What you learned?
I learned,
Uh oh.
just kind of like that. Don't 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 ignore the red flags. I think that was my biggest thing. Um, was ignoring red
Mm,
flags and trying to see the best in people, and seeing their potential. When you
Mm-hmm.
fall in love with when you fall in love with their potential, you end up
Yeah.
being very disappointed sometimes, or a lot more, because of the fact that you have this expectation in your mind of who they can potentially be, and that's not where they're at right now. So that's probably not where they're at right at that moment. So you kind of just end up stressing yourself out a little bit more, or I ended up stressing myself out a little bit more um
Mm-hmm.
doing that. So I learned not to ignore the red flags. And if they show you who you are, take it with a grain of salt, and figure out what you want to do with that.
If
What
they
did I
show
say?
you who they
What did
are or who you are, what do you
Oh, my
mean?
bad. If you I meant
If they
if
show
they
you
show
who you
you who
are.
they are. Yeah, sorry about that. No, I probably did say that.
Oh, okay. Unless
If
I
they
heard you
show you
wrong.
who
No,
they
no, you're
are,
fine.
then believe them. Especially if they show you more than once.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like a repeat
yeah,
performance. I
exactly.
think you're trying to tell me
And
something.
then also
Yeah.
just go at your pace, whatever pace that is. Just go at it. Don't whatever when people
Mhm.
try and put a timing on things, like, just nobody's in your relationship, or nobody's talking to that person except for you. So you'll never really know, or nobody else will never really know 100% about your relationship. Even if you tell somebody everything, they still don't feel that same feeling you feel when you guys are talking, or feel that connection um most times. So just go at
Mhm.
your own pace, whatever pace that is, and whatever works for you guys. um what else? um
That's pretty good. Red flags. Don't be
mhm.
don't date for potential
Yeah, or don't fall in love
and go
with
at your
potential
own
too.
pace.
I think that kind of like, don't fall in love and don't date for potential,
Oh, don't fall.
because I
That
feel like
is. Oh, don't
because
even
I mean,
date
you can if you
potential.
want, but don't be disappointed
Okay.
if things don't, work out the way you thought. I think that's all I can think about, really. I mean, uh, be confident in yourself, and also love yourself first before you love anybody else, because you